Hey guys, so I didn't like the last video I did on baking my makeup, so I figured let me start over, fresh slate, let's make a new one. So that's what I'm doing. I've already done my eyes, I've already done my primer and my foundation, so now I'm just gonna go in and jump right in and let's cook the makeup, let's bake it on, and we'll talk about that. So again, already starting off with doing everything that I needed to do prior to this. I'm going to now go in with my concealer. I'm using the Dual Action Concealer by Merle Norman in medium light neutral. I'm just going to apply it to the back of my hand. I did get a lot of coverage out of this foundation, but I'm going to just go in and show you just in case you're not getting a lot of coverage out of it, or you just have darker circles. This is going to eliminate that. So we're going to go in. I'm just using a small concealer brush. That way I can just kind of place it where I want it to. Do the nose, and the forehead, right with my lip, and alright, then we're going to take a damp beauty blender. You can find these anywhere. I like it damp because it does tend to help spread out the concealer, especially if you're using more of a full coverage, thicker concealer. There's a lot of oil in it. You're not going to smear it, you're just going to dab it in. So this is going to help really push it into the skin and give you that coverage that you're looking for. Because I already did my eyes, I'm going directly like right underneath, but because it's damp and the tip of this I'm using for underneath the eye, it's going to be easier to get as close as possible without messing up everything that I just did. Okay, so now that we've done that, what I'm going to do is with the same damp sponge, I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in with my Flawless Effect translucent powder. I'm just going to place it down because it gets a little messy. Alright, and then I'm going to just go in and dab right in the jar. And I'm going to just take that and lightly dab it underneath. Again, just following the same area that I concealed. And this is going to set it in, making your eye makeup look very crisp in comparison to everything else. You're not going to have to worry about that fallout, and you're not going to have to worry about your concealer starting to separate throughout the day. So what I'm going to do now is go in with my same translucent powder. I'm just going to take a brush that I just found, and I'm going to go in and set everything that I put on my face. That way I know that my liquid foundation and my concealer is really kind of locked in. Anytime that you're using a liquid concealer, which would be a liquid anyway, and a foundation, you want to put a powder over it. Even if it's something light like a translucent powder, you want to set it in with a powder, because that way throughout the day your foundation is not going to separate as much, and it eliminates, for those of you who have oily skin, it does eliminate the oily effect afterwards. So what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to go in with my sponge, and I'm just going to lightly spray it, enough to get just kind of a little bit more damp. Now I'm going to go in with the same translucent powder, and I'm just going to take a generous amount and go right underneath. So here I've put it on. And here's a little fun fact for you. Since our body temperature is roughly around 98.6 degrees, what happens is you're layering your primer, your concealer, your foundation. We've set it once already. Now we're baking it. So you have layers and layers of product just sitting on top of your pores. What that's doing is, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but what you're doing is you're smothering it, and now it's producing the heat from our natural body temperature. And you're really pushing that product in. You're baking it in because it has no place to go other than your face. So you're pushing that makeup in, and you're really just making it very smooth, very flawless looking. So this is going to help smother it. Because we've dampened it, it does take a minute to kind of dry, but that makeup is just really going to set in there. So we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to go in and contour my face, because that way when I go over and fan everything out, it gives me a very flawless look. So I'm going to use, this is our Lesson Compact, but this is the Ultra Powder Foundation in color Nutmeg. I like the warmth of it. Personally, I just like contouring my face with something more on the warm side. I don't like doing something too fair, just because it gives it a muddy look afterwards, and I like a little bit more richness to it. What I'm gonna do is go in, and I'm just using a small little brush, and from my ear, my hairline here, down, if you smile, you can see where it's supposed to end, but I'm really gonna push a lot of that product in through here, and then lightly fan it out. Now what I'm going to do is circle back up into where my temples are and go around my forehead. Because I have a larger forehead, I want it to appear smaller. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush, and I'm going to contour just real lightly the sides of my nose and the tip. Okay, so I've had this sit on for just a few minutes while I was applying the rest of my contour and fixing my face. What I'm going to do is go in and just lightly go over and just fan that out. Now look at the difference. I mean, obviously this is still, baked on, but look how flawless that looks. Everything's kind of been set in. So I'm going to go over on this side and down through here. Now I did my chin and my jawline, one of two reasons. It makes your contour look more crisp in through here. It makes your contour look more crisp, and I am notorious for sitting like this. So the oils from your hand are going to push up against your face, and now that oil is going to make your foundation separate. So this is going to help with that. I'm not going to say it is the holy grail, and all of a sudden now it's not going to separate, but it does help. It buys you some time. So we're just going to blend everything else out. Now I'm just going to go in with a little bit of blush. This is by Merle Norman, and this is in shade Marvelous. And I'm just going to do the apples of my cheeks and then work it into my contour. Not going too high, but never going lower than my contour. And just working in circular motions, blending it all back in there. And then my favorite product has to be my Morphe palette. You can tell which colors I use because they almost don't exist anymore. So I'm gonna go in with more of a golden hue, and I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of pink. I'm feeling a little rowdy today. So I'm gonna use this. It's like a bronzy, peachy tone. And I'm just going to mix it with a little bit of the pink. Lightly tap it off. And go in. And just lightly highlight over, just right above where I did my blush. But I kind of like it to blend in a little bit too. That way it doesn't look like there's a separation between contour, blush, highlight, and baking. Everything blends in, and that's the point. You want everything to blend in. So now I'm going to go in with this lighter golden hue and just do the tip of my nose and the bridge. And I'm going to do the top of my lip. And then I'm just going to lightly take it. I'm going to squeeze the tip, lightly take it, and just go right underneath my brow. And I'm going to go right above it. We're going to accentuate the shape of our eyebrows. We're not going to go too much up here, but we're just going to do a little bit. That way everything blends. Not all your highlighting is focusing right on the center of your face. We're getting everything to blend between the sides, your brows, the bridge of your nose, to your lips. Now to follow through, obviously finishing off your lips, you can do something a little bit more natural. You could do something, you know, a pop of color. Because I did a pop of color with my eyes, I'm gonna go in, let's do Bistro Berry. We're gonna go with Bistro Berry. This is by Merle Norman again. This is our Lip Pencil Plus, and it is phenomenal. Let's just be serious. So the one side is a liner and the other side is your color, so you can really cocktail using one or the other or both. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do my lips, and then I'll show you the finish. So here I have the lips. I mean, hello, look how pretty that color is. It has a little bit of this like purpley hues in there, and I have a little bit of a purpley hue on my my eye. So I wanted everything to blend, and I really like a pop of color in the fall anyway. So what I'm gonna do is, last but not least, I'm gonna take the same spray that I use when I set my makeup, and I'm gonna go in and just set the whole thing. I like this because even with a lot of setting sprays will have an oil in them, and they will make your mascara kind of settle down, and you might have lines underneath. This does not. So that's why I'm obsessed with this. So go in, spray my face, and I'm gonna let it dry, and this is our finished look. So again, if you guys have any questions, want to see something that I haven't yet done, or you want to see more videos, that'd be cool, subscribe below, give it a thumbs up, and keep watching for more videos. Have a great day, guys.